comes as the United Nations has sharply criticised Israel for blocking tents from entering Gaza for the past 5 months, despite repeated displacement orders. The UN Humanitarian Office says more than 700,000 people have been displaced or redisplaced in this period, often left without shelter. Israel argues tents are dual use, as poles could serve military purposes. The UN Human Rights Office warned Israel's planned takeover of Gaza City risks mass displacement, killings and worsening misery. Civilians are being pushed towards al-mawasi, an area still under bombardment and lacking food, water, electricity and shelter. Officials say the risk of starvation is now everywhere, blaming Israeli restrictions on aid. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a private group backed by Israel and the US, has delivered over 2 million food boxes since May, but reaching aid remains dangerous, according to local sources. Nearly 1,900 Palestinians have been reportedly killed while seeking supplies in recent weeks, most reportedly by Israeli fire. Well, Gedaliah, thank you for staying with us. What's your response to this UN statement about tents in the wake of reports of these killings around aid facilities and also displacements being reported and, of course, ordered by the Israeli military?
Number one, I think it's a smokescreen that is covering the UN's #1 responsibility, especially UNRWA, the one category of Palestinian agencies, the refugee agency, specifically only for Palestinians. They're the only people in the world that have their own agency in the UN for refugees, UNRWA, and yet UNRWA is not doing what they're mandated to, which is to protect refugees. In fact, they're not even calling for refugees out of Gaza. And the fact of the matter is that why are we talking about the difficulties bringing aid into Gaza, into a war zone, when we should be bringing civilians out of the war zone into safety, where aid could be easily plentiful, where medicine and care could be also provided, and civilians are not in the war zone, which would allow Israel to fight a faster and cleaner war. So everything else is a complete smokescreen to that one key point. They are not living up to their mandate, and no one's talking about it. No officials, no agencies. The only people who are talking about allowing war refugees is Israel. And the response from the international community is that we are seeking ethnic cleansing. So just to put things in perspective, there's only one other place in the world that does not allow for war refugees, and that's North Korea. So let's put that in perspective. And if you want to talk about international aid not arriving into Gaza, later this evening, I will be at the Kerem Shalom crossing on the Gaza side. And I will be live streaming from my X page, Mossad IL, if anybody wants to tune in. And they will see thousands and thousands of tons of aid that is sitting out in the boiling sun in Gaza in the summer heat, rotting, because the UN is not in control of the logistics of the humanitarian aid. So because they're not in control anymore.
Okay, Gedaliah, I'm sorry to interject. Thank you ever so much for that insight. We are unfortunately out of time, but such a unique insight, of course, into the situation. You will be staying with us on our next story, which is away from